Good morning. On this, the 28th of February, the last day of February in 2025. I am heading in to have my blood drawn to have yet another PSA. I am not 100% sure how that's going to plan out. For the first couple of weeks this month, 3 weeks actually, I was very confident that this is going to be a good month. So I've made some small changes to my protocols. I've started using my new cannabis extract, though I feel like it's not as much success as it should be. I have been using suppositories that contained frankincense and gloves, which I had high hope up for. But the last week here, I've been suffering a lot from anxiety, and it's only until yesterday I realized that there's a pattern to that anxiety, and that every time I'm closing in on the day that I have my PSA test, I'm getting nervous. Have I done it good enough? Is it good enough to make a change? Will it be better? Where am I going to see something that's going to crucify me? And while 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, when I got these thoughts, I was able to control it, I was able to push them away, and I was able to maintain the positive attitude. Then, in particular this time, but it's been progressing over the months. But specifically this month, it was really hard. It took me 3 or 4 days to pull myself out of it. And it was only yesterday that I finally succeeded. Because normally I can reflect on the fact that as long as I'm doing the best I can, then there's nothing more I can do. Then it's out of my hand. There's no reason to worry about things that's out of your hand. But for some reason this time it was like the darkness was like gravity. It was like something that just, if I for a second let go of consciously thinking about what is good and what I can do and all that, then the whole mind was just pulled into darkness. It was less like the gravity, simple as that. So it required a lot of effort for me to reverse that. And it was only yesterday that I realized that there was a pattern to it. And when I realized there was a pattern to it, I started analyzing a little bit what I could do differently. And I realized that I just have to, I think I have to write it down, my small mantras or what you will, or if you will, because it's all about mindset. It's all about how you look at it. And every time I get into this darkness here, usually I remember that if you're doing your best, then there's nothing else you can do, and there's nothing else to worry about then. Because if you're doing your best, it can't be better than that, can it? And that kind of slipped my mind a little bit. But the second thing is also to make sure that I have a plan. I've always had a plan, but I've kind of slipped into a habit, and that's a very tiring habit to a certain extent, but also kind of soothing habit at the same time, of what I do with my protocols. So I wake up in the morning and I get my 2 teaspoonful of hot cocoa beans diluted in hot water, and it kind of tastes good now. Back in the days when I started, it didn't do, and that is to promote stem cell production, which should be very productive. Then I mix up my 3 portions of supplements that I get every day, and about mid in the morning I get the chlorine dioxide portion, and mid-afternoon I get my DMSO, and then in nighttime I get a suppository, cannabis, and a 100 milligrams of oral CBD. And so that is a rhythm, and because I know it's a rhythm that is well thought out, and I have been making it all myself more or less, and I have great confidence in it, it becomes a routine. And then when I get close to the time when I have my blood drawn, I'm getting in doubt. Does it work? Because I kind of forgot of what I have done. It's all a routine. It's just one step by one another. And so I kind of forgot that I made some changes this month that should have very, very positive impact on my PSA. I've had frankincense and clove added to my suppository. I have made my new suppositories where I've got more clean and product, and I've got terpenes more intact. I've got THCA and CBDA in it, which is a totally different product. I'm using the oral version as well, which has got the same properties, except from the frankincense and the clove, obviously. I have added stinging nettle root supplements to my regimen. I have opted out of Mancut, which is mangosteen in English. I didn't really see anything particularly effectful on that. I'm maintaining my ivermectin. I'm maintaining my DMSO. I am maintaining my chlorine dioxide. So there's a lot of things that should be good. But is it good or not? That's the question. So I'll have it taken today. Although I have crawled out of my anxiety, I will have my blood drawn today. I'm dressed up for it. And then next month, March, I will, if the number has dropped, I won't be making much changes. But if it has not dropped, I will make some serious changes, because one of the things that I've been worried about was my weight loss. I did not have to worry too much about it though, because that's one of the things I checked up on yesterday, and it turns out the last 7 months I've lost 1 kilo in total. My average, I'm looking at my average every month, calendar month, and I was at 85 and now I'm at 84. Anyway, so the weight loss is not that much, but I've been overweight for so many years that I'm just not getting used to the fact that I'm actually slimming up. And my wife keeps telling me, don't get too slim. People get shocked. I see pictures of myself traveling to Pattaya with my daughter, and I see a picture of myself there, and I get shocked because I'm just not used to it. So in February, I kind of went overboard, as it turned out, and I got too much cake when I went to coffee shops. And I shouldn't have done that. I also get my nori wheat biscuit kind of things with cheese in the mornings, which is probably not all the best either. It's all converts into sugar. Now I know that it's a controversial topic. Sugar is not good in any sense or any way, but moderate amount might not be hurtful. And in particular with things like prostate cancer, that is not that dependent on sugar like many other cancers are. But it doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of looking for excuses to get your sugar. So there will be no sugar next month in March. I'll also haven't had a look at my various parameters in terms of my body fat and BMI and muscle mass, and it turns out that I've lost quite a lot of muscle mass over the last, I don't know, can't remember. I've got my Garmin weight maybe 5-6 months ago, so that's when I started measuring these things, and it's been dropping out of the sky in the same terms as my body fat is dropping out of the sky as well. So it's been following each other, but I don't want my muscle mass to drop. I know, as my daughter very correctly said, when I mentioned to her that I was feeling a little worried when I saw the pictures of her and me in Pattaya, and she said, well, the exercise you're doing is running, you're getting a running body. And she's right, it is what I'm getting, and I love running, and I love to be fit for running. So I don't want a bodybuilder body, but I do not want the muscle mass to drop too much. That was the initial reason for me to keep up the exercise. It was, if I should ever end up on ADT, which is going to deprive me of muscle mass, then I wanted to have as much muscle mass as possible. So the last 3, 4, 5 months, it's kind of slipped my mind that was the main purpose of it. It's not just a matter of being fit and keeping things at bay, it's also a matter of maintaining a certain amount of muscle mass. So that's going to be focused too in March. So we got to do a little bit of HIIT training, we got to do more running training, and we got to do a little bit of muscle training. So it's going to be interesting, and no sugar. And then I'm planning on doing a 48-hour fasting once a week. I've been very hesitant to do that because of the weight loss, but I'm at a 23.6% fat, and I read up on it, and it says that is in the range of being fair, while good is if you got less than 22%. Obviously you don't want to go too low because you need the fat to battle diseases and stuff. But I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, oh, it doesn't look all that bad. But then I look at pictures of myself, and that's a total different experience. For some reason, what I see in the mirror and what I see on pictures is not the same. and I got nervous about it. But giving the numbers, I don't necessarily have to be that nervous about it. So we'll make those small changes. Then I'm doing my cannabis, and I haven't started it properly yet. I've done my suppositories, and I've done some oral versions there, but I don't think they've been purged properly. They bite me a little bit. I think there's a little bit of butane left in it. It's not poisonous, it's not a big problem, but it is a contaminant, and I don't want that to irritate the body. So I've been a little bit holding back on that. And it's a much more complicated process to do hydrocarbon extraction than it is to do ethanol extraction. And so I thought I would have done and had it done and dusted long ago. But I don't think it will take me at least, if I'm lucky, 2 weeks before I really get started on that again. And it's simply because the production process is just so complicated. Don't want to tire you with that one. If there's somebody's interested in that, then I will obviously make videos of it. But that brings me to another topic. There are certain things that I do in my protocol that YouTube don't like. And because they don't like it, they don't promote my page. And when I say promote, I don't need promotion. Like, I don't need 500,000 subscribers or anything like that. This is for people who's got a specific need, or for relatives who has specific needs, where they want information without having to dig out all the information themselves, or maybe just to have a place where they can see a like-minded who is doing things the holistic way. But in the various support groups, when I'm sharing this, I have had feedback saying that even if I'm sharing the very name of the channel, Life with Prostate Cancer, spelled in one word, no space in between, then they can't find it. And I've actually tried it myself. I can't find it. So YouTube is suppressing it very hard. And the only way that they will be able to find it is if they are being directed directly with a link to one of the videos. So this is just a little notion to you guys to follow this channel and to look at it. If you know of somebody who might have interested in this particular topic, which I know ain't all that many in the world, then make sure that if you share it by linking a video directly to them, because they won't be able to find it otherwise. It's a bit annoying that the freedom of speech is so limited, isn't it? I'm not doing anything that is wrong at all. I mean, cannabis might not be legal in every state in the world, but it's legal where I am. And if you're talking about chlorine dioxide, which is one of the things that I got a strike about, where they told me if I got 1 or 2 more, then I'll have my channel deleted. That's something that's used for water purification. And it's been used in so many other applications that's got to do with health, that it's really weird that just because I'm talking about it in relation to cancer, then I am prohibited to share it. So anyway, that's the reality of it. Today, PSA, and if I'm lucky, they'll have the result for me in the afternoon. They're usually quite fast, and I will keep you updated if it is so. But until next time, as always, stay happy and healthy.